The college football experience, Mississippi State Bulldogs 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBet. Bet $50 at WynnBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet. Download the WynnBet app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com to start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy in Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their brand new over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. Yes, IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Yes, make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Mississippi State Bulldogs 2022 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing.
Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Love talking Hail State. I'm not sure what happened with the internet. The connection is going in and out. I swear, we don't need the internet. We don't need the stinking internet. Right? I am joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi.
How you doing, pal? As I scroll through all this great stuff, as we get ready, I don't know what's happening with the internet. It's going a bit crazy.
There we go.
All right, it's this Packard Bell computer that I'm on. I'm joking. Hopefully you're subscribed on YouTube, and if you are, you're watching me. Scramble to find the font up, and I think it's going to pull it again. You see the top right corner? Boom.
There it goes.
I don't know what the hell is happening in the office right now. Perhaps the Russians are hacking into us. I don't know what is going on right now, but I'm excited to talk Hail State football. We are big fans of Mike Leach, good friend of the program,
and he runs a system that once it gets going, does not crash.
Yes, it is the opposite of this. Actually,
it hums right along.
It does everything right there. So now you're watching me just scroll through. You're basically like watching me watch TV. All right, so
this is the college experience.
Yes, it's like a dorm room right now, and you just come in and 50 people are bonging beers right now, and you don't know. And watch, it's gonna go out again, Patty C.
I say you just turn it off there.
Oh man, and then turn it back on. Maybe we do a little bit of that. Maybe a little bit of that. Let's go back. Oh, look at this lighting. Now I look so much more attractive.
It's so dramatic.
It's a lot like college when you think you meet that girl and then boom, the next day
the lights come on.
Yes,
everything
and you say, "Whoa, what is happening here?" No memories. Patty C. Let's talk a little Hail State football. What do you think of what Coach Leach accomplished 7-5? See, look, we've talked. I feel like a lot of the ones we've done recently, Lane Kiffin and the Michigan State Mel Tucker one. These coaches that have had to start in 2020 during COVID should get a pass.
Absolutely,
especially Coach Leach, because you're bringing in a foreign system to. Comparing to Joe Moorhead's offense and what they were doing, so
that's true. 4-7, but pretty much all conference games there.
Took one game to break the SEC passing record.
Yeah, take that record with a grain of salt, and I would say even take last year's record with a grain of salt, considering the teams they beat.
Oh man, last year I from the start, without diving in, I just know they had so many chances to win with their kicker missing a lot of big field goals. Like certain games should have been much like. First off, the Memphis game, terrible call. The refs even issued an apology, but it was too late. A couple days later, they issued an apology saying they got the call wrong.
That was atrocious. What happened there? The guy downs the punt.
Yes,
but he doesn't like.
And even the ref, I think, makes the signal.
I think yeah. What is it like if you down the ball and you stop it from rolling?
Yes.
At that point, it's dead for all intents and purposes. But I guess
he waits like 5 seconds and then he goes.
Yeah, the ref must have mistaken the rule that like I think if the ball keeps bouncing after they touch it, then you can return it. But it was downed and he walked away from it, and the guy comes and picks it up and runs it for a touchdown.
With like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's the game.
So they should have beat Memphis. And then like if you add in the games with missed field goals, I believe in LSU they lost by 3. They missed some field goals. The Arkansas game, they flat out just were the better team, and they couldn't hit a field goal to save their life. The Egg Bowl matchup on Thanksgiving was a 10-point final score, but when you look at it, there was a drop in the end zone in the rain. Now the bowl game, I will say, there's no excuse for the bowl game, and there's no excuse for the Alabama. Well, I guess playing Alabama could be the excuse, but they did get beat down pretty badly in both those matchups. But everything else. They did win at Texas A&M. They did win at Auburn. They should have won at Arkansas. And
they did win against NC State. They slapped them around. They were a 9-3 team last year.
But if you look at what Leach is accustomed to, so in year 1 at Texas Tech, he really.
There you go. I got the yardage for that Mississippi State Arkansas game. 486 for Mississippi State. 393 for.
If you just watch the game. They missed like 7 field goals. I feel like
Arkansas scored a touchdown with 21 seconds left to come from behind them.
Yeah, and the game should have been out of reach, but they couldn't make a field goal. But Leach in year 3, he at year 3 at Texas Tech, he went 9-5, finished second in his division. That was a big jump up. Year 1 at Texas Tech, he was 7-6, made a bowl, finished 4th. Year 2 at Texas Tech, 7-5, finished 3rd, and year 3. He finished 2nd, 9-5. You wonder at Washington State, it took a little longer. It was year 4 that was the big pivotal year. Year 2 though, he did get them to a bowl, much like last year.
But once he gets there, he hovers in that 8-9 range pretty much
successfully. Yeah. So it begs the question: can they just get back to where they were a season ago, and hopefully this year they'll be able to make those field goals and capitalize on those things. Patty C, your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing: is we read somewhere that several metrics have them as having the hardest schedule in the country this year.
Not true.
I don't.
I'm going to overrule that.
Yeah.
And look, and Coach Leach is our boy. Go listen. We just had him on the show a week ago, so go listen to it. But that's not true. It's not true.
Well, I'll say.
I don't know how they're judging that. If he's,
I would say there are more games that for the average team would be considered a guaranteed loss on their schedule than any team in the country. But I would say there aren't 100% games that are maybe losses. I think there are several pretty much guaranteed wins for them on the schedule. And so, depending on how you're measuring what the hardest schedule is, I don't think so. I think there are some games that they're definitely going to win here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not an easy schedule, but it's not, I don't think I mean, we ran off, I think it was Georgia Tech's the other day or Colorado's that was just filthy. I understand the SEC West is the best division in football, but I still think
they have a lot of really, really hard games. I'll say that.
Well, they do have 2 sets of back-to-back away games too. SEC not doing them any favors on that.
Yeah.
But let's hop into it. This offense returns 3rd-year starter Will Rogers, and what's interesting is he's going to be able to claim that he's a sophomore if he wanted to. I know it's a junior right now, but Will Rogers is back. Patty C.
He should take full advantage.
Yeah, and their offense coordinator is Coach Leach. They were 59th in scoring offense, 130th in rush offense. Patty C. Fourth in pass offense, charting at 29th in total offense. Running backs, both of them are back. Joquavius Marks and Dillon. Shout out to Predator Dillon Johnson. 2 or 3 wideouts are back, led by. First off, a lot of their receivers are back. Yes, they lose Malik Heath to Ole Miss, which is one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. But Austin Williams, Jaden Wally, Lideatrick Griffin, Caleb Ducking, Jameer Calvin, the 4-star from Wazoo, they're all back. I think the wide receiver core will be fine. 3 starters back on the offensive line, led by center LaQuinston Sharp. They have 82 starts on that offensive line. 82 starts, Patty C. Now, and they had a top 10 pick go this past year, Charles Cross.
Yeah. That is like you mentioned, Mike Leach's forte.
We had Hal Mummy on the show probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and Hal Mummy, who created the air raid with Mike Leach, we were just talking to him about whatever football. He was in the XFL at the time, and we asked him, like, I don't know.
He was going over the history of how he got where he was,
and I think he was just like, hey, Mike Leach.
Well, he had to coach offensive line for them for a long time.
Yes,
right?
at Iowa Wesleyan, and then Valdosta State and Kentucky. So he just said that his big skill, yes, he's a fantastic offensive coordinator, but his actual number one skill is coaching the offensive line. He says he's never seen a football coach that be able to coach an offensive line as good as Mike Leach, which makes sense. With Andre Dillard was with Washington State first rounder two or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And
he was
Charles
only
Cross
like a 3-star.
Yeah.
And he got drafted pretty high.
And there was a couple other Wazoo guys that went too.
It's funny because you would, like it makes sense that a team that passes this much would need to be able to block for them. But for some reason, I don't necessarily equate the air raid with great blocking because it's kind of specifically designed to take the offensive line out. You get the ball out quickly, you get it out on the perimeter.
True.
And so you figure that, hey, this isn't like a system that requires great offensive line coaching, but yet maybe that's why it succeeds so much is because he's a great offensive line coach and he develops players.
He played rugby at BYU, so maybe
he's a mauler.
Maybe something
he teaches some mauling, although pass blocking not really part of rugby. So
true. I don't know.
He's got something figured out.
I don't know, but yeah, maybe when he was over there in Finland or wherever he was coaching.
Yeah.
He coached in Europe for a little bit. You got to love the Coach Leach in general. Great guy, absolutely hilarious to talk with. I'm sure you know this, but Patty C, this
the Pori Bears, which was Finland. You got it.
Finland. Yes. Fantastic. This offense should roll though. 82 starts on the O-line, 30-year quarterback back, both running backs back, and pretty much all your receivers except for Malik Heath, who went. I know another wideout went to Ole Miss too, but he didn't even get a catch last year, so I'm not even going to acknowledge him. But that is filthy, by the way. That should never happen. You should never be transferring from Mississippi State to Ole Miss or vice versa. Yeah. That is disgusting.
It's sinful.
Yeah.
It's sinful.
Defensively, Zach Arnett. Big fan of this defensive coordinator here. Came over from San Diego State, Rocky Long guy, and he's been there for a few years now with Leach. And I know some people are saying that he could be a head coach down the line here. 63rd in scoring defense, 12th in rush defense, 71st in pass defense, charting at the 30th best defense in the nation. They run that 3-3-5, Patty C. They got 2 or 3 back on the defensive line led by Randy Charlton, but you can kind of make a case for it being more than that because all SEC player Jordan Davis is back from a torn ACL. He's not even projected in the starting lineup yet because of the ACL thing, but that defensive line might be pretty nasty.
Jaden Crumedy, 4th team preseason all defense.
Yes.
Couple guys in the trenches there that might be effective.
2 or 3 linebackers are back led by Nathaniel Watson. 3 of 5 back in the secondary. Corner Emmanuel Forbes is really good. And even strong safety Jalen Green, I think, is one to keep an eye on. And guess what? They also have first team kick returner in Lideatrick Griffin.
Pretty explosive.
Yeah. And then a new kicker and a new punter. Sometimes you got to fix things and we'll get to that. And I think that is a huge deal with this season. What do you make of everything, Patty C?
Well, from a
returning 17, 18 starters? If you consider the Davis thing, who's I know he's not
massive.
Yeah.
And when you talk about, like you mentioned, a system that really thrives with repetition and fine tuning, because what is it like? Any offense is going to improve with the more repetitions, but there are certain offenses where it's like, okay, it's big and diverse, and you're running a lot of different things, and basically, okay, the more you can put in, the better, right?
Yeah.
But this offense doesn't. They're running kind of the same thing. It's almost like a triple option through the air, and the more repetitions you get, the more fine tuned it becomes. So we're seeing this, and even though you think, okay, the air raid is limited, it's like, no, the more repetitions you get, the better this offense becomes.
Yeah.
And so with all these players coming back,
that's what I'm saying.
This offense could take the next step.
It really could. I mean, it really, really could. We're going to talk transfer portal. We're going to talk recruiting rankings. We're going to talk Vegas expectations and what we expect as we go game by game on the Bulldogs stadium. What the hell am I talking about? All right, folks. I want to tell you though that the college football experience, Mississippi State Bulldogs 2022 season preview on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet to claim your free bets today. That's WINNBET. Claim those bets. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy and Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their brand new over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by SGPN Discord. Make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat out bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, we are back talking college football, talking Hail State college football. You know, we love the Bulldogs. Patty C, the transfer portal. I'm telling you, I know you pull up the rankings and you say, I don't know about what they got going.
Well, let me say one more thing about that offense real quick. Another thing that about this offense is it doesn't necessarily rely on the players as much.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like the triple option, it's based on.
Well, he designed it after the triple option.
Yeah.
He told me that. Yeah.
The system itself is a more of an accounting for the yardage gained than like if you get a stud tailback, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make a huge difference in this offense, obviously, or a stud receiver. It's the numbers that make the difference in this offense. So really for the quarterback, that's where the more reps the quarterback gets and is able to diagnose those numbers quickly, then that's where it's going to show up. And they're getting that.
Yeah. And I really like what they did in the portal. 4-star safety from Michigan, Jordan Morant comes in. 4-star cornerback Hunter Washington from Florida State comes in. Those guys aren't even projected starters. Giving some depth to the secondary.
There you go.
Punter, Georgopoulos. I don't know.
Georgopoulos?
Yeah, but great name. And he was at UMass, so you know he was punting probably every 5 plays. So
definitely a Greek. Is he the Greek freak of punting?
That punter might be the greatest punter ever.
Georgopoulos?
Yeah.
Come on.
Isn't that like a character on a fake ID in like the vacation movies?
Probably. It sounds
I
about
swear,
right.
like one of those vacation movies. I think it's Vegas Vacation.
Vegas Vacation where he goes out on the street.
He gets a fake ID and that's it. Offensive lineman Steven Lasoya from Middle Tennessee. This guy got reps at Middle Tennessee. I think it's a nice get to add some depth. And then the big one, the kicker, Massimino Biscardi from Coastal Carolina. This guy's good. This is all the difference. If they have this guy last year, they probably go 10-2.
I mean, legitimately.
Yeah. Wide receiver Justin Robinson comes in from Georgia. Wide receiver Jordan Mosley from Northwestern. Cornerback Jackie Matthews from West Virginia. Cornerback Marcus Banks from Alabama. And then I think one of the other big ones is the left tackle Percy Lewis, who I'm seeing projected as a potential starter. Nice. 4-star JUCO.
Boom.
So,
couple 4 stars being added to the mix here.
Yeah, and I mean they did lose some. I will rattle off what they lose because the transfer portal is always insane. Trevon Marshall in the defensive end, he's in the portal. Running back Omni Wells went to South Alabama. Cornerback Jay Hampton went to Southern Miss. Linebacker Tamar Rogers went to Middle Tennessee. Punter Marshall Nichols went to UNLV. What else do we got here? Jacoby Moore, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Didn't have a catch last season. Kicker Gabriel Placentia is in the portal. He's the guy I think that missed all those field goals. Quarterback Jack Kristovek went to Arkansas State. He was deep down the depth chart. Defensive end Ani Izuku went to Tulsa. Kicker Aiden Martin is in the portal. Quarterback Jack Abraham went to the Missouri Tigers. That's interesting because he was Southern Miss's starting quarterback. I wonder if he starts with Missouri this year. We'll see.
Did he get any work last year?
No, not last year.
Nothing.
Theodore Knox is in the portal. I'm sorry, no, he went to SMU. Malik Heath, the wide receiver we talked about, he went to Ole Miss. Safety Landon Gildry is in the portal. Kicker Nolan McCord is in the portal. All these kickers that tried out are gone. Cornerback Kyle Cass is in the portal. Wide receiver Quentin Torbor is in the portal, and then they lost a couple guys to Southern Miss. Offensive tackle Calvin McMillan, defensive end Aaron Odom, and defensive lineman Armandus Cooley, and safety Jamari Dean, all to Southern Miss. 4 guys.
Jeez.
Also linebacker Aaron Brule to Michigan State, and linebacker Rodney Gross to Arizona State, and cornerback Cameron Threat to Akron.
Who took over that Southern Miss gig again?
Will Hall.
Will Hall.
They got a lot of Ole Miss and Mississippi State guys, man.
There you go. Build that program back up. I'll say this about their transfer portal additions, at least from some traditional blue blood programs or current winners, Michigan, Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, and then you throw Coastal Carolina in there. Then of course UMass.
Yeah. West Virginia. Virginia's all right.
Yeah. Some big school players coming in.
All right. Well, talk to me about recruiting rankings, buddy.
This is a remarkably consistent team from a recruiting standpoint on the national level the last 5 years, 27, 25, 26, 29, 31. So a slight slip here in the last couple of years under Leach. That's probably not his forte, the recruiting, although he's not bad. Within the conference, that's been 9, 11, 10, 10, 12. Composite 23, 23, 23, and 30. So a slip on that level. But again, talent levels are pretty consistent here. It's just a matter of, can they improve enough to win these close games?
Yeah.
What do you think it would take for Leach to compete for the SEC West? Would it take some more talent, or do you think it would just take? I mean, you would think you would need some real playmakers. Although he's coached really well for a long time, I can't think of too many skill position players off the top of my head.
Oh, he had some.
Did he?
Michael Crabtree.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Wes Welker.
Okay.
I think Danny Amendola.
Okay,
right?
so he's got some fleas.
Well, at Wazoo, I don't think they had some players that I think. I mean, Andre Dillon on the offensive line, but yeah, skill position. Max Borgi, I think, was one that
good.
Yeah, that worked out for them. But
it would be interesting to see him get some little speedsters like that. I mean, Crabtree, a legit like superstar, at the college level, and a really kind of at the pro level, had a pretty darn good career. If he could get a few more of those, I mean, lo and behold, his
Wes
best.
Welker had a great career.
Yeah. Maybe if he does get some of these high end guys, that takes it up a notch.
Well, let's hop into it because Las Vegas, Patty C, is expecting. Look, you see here the win total 6.5 for Mississippi State. That's minus 125 on the over, plus 105 on the under. So Vegas leaning to a 7-5 season. Let's hop into it. Buddy, because week 1, revenge against the Memphis Tigers and Ryan Silverfield. They come into Stark Vegas.
I love that they get them week 1 too.
Yes.
Talk about getting a team up for the entire camp. There's a huge target on week 1.
Yeah. Gotta love that. I'm gonna give them a dub. You?
Yes. Decisive.
1-0 for Hail State. Week 2, they travel to Tucson. Now this one's interesting because it's a back-to-back away game that they go. They go at Tucson, then at Baton Rouge. Patty C, SEC teams are 5-17 since the year 2000 at playing at Pac-12 schools. However, I do believe the most success they've had playing at Pac-12 schools is playing at Arizona,
playing the worst team in the conference. Yeah, lo and behold.
I'm taking Mississippi State. I still wonder though that this is that the stat is the stat for a reason. 5-17.
I wouldn't be shocked to find them in a little battle here late in the third quarter.
I'm going Hail State though.
Yeah.
All right. So 2-0. The back-to-back away is at LSU. So they got their 2 back-to-back aways. The second game is at LSU, and then for their other back-to-back away, it's at Bama.
Oh, fun. Playing in some real
brutal
sleepy environments there. The LSU game is already scheduled for 6:00 p.m. So
he's 1-0 in Baton Rouge.
He didn't play there at night though, so we're gonna see how he handles that. Oh, that's tough. I'm tempted to give Mississippi State the win here.
I think this is a game. I think it's a game. I'm gonna just say back-to-back away. I'm gonna trust the statistics on the back-to-back away. Give me LSU to win this.
I'll go with you, I guess, but I really feel like Mississippi State has a pretty darn. I mean, because what Brian Kelly's gonna have. It's still going to be early.
I think it's a winnable game. I mean, look, last year they won at Auburn. They should have won at Arkansas. They won at A&M. I think it's a winnable game.
LSU will have a chance to recover after their big game against quote unquote big game against Florida State. They host Southern the following week. So
LSU, did they have any back-to-back aways on that schedule, Patty C?
Let me take a peek. See here, that's a negative.
I find it ironic that LSU has not played. They played one. No. Yeah. I think it was what? No. Oklahoma's played one back-to-back away game in 10 years. I think LSU's played 3.
Well,
Mississippi
it's almost
State
hard
has
to play
2
right
in one
season.
year. Yeah.
It's almost hard to play back-to-back road games when you only have 4 road games the entire year.
It's true, but enjoy the Ponzi scheme
nonsense.
that is college football. Or no, not the Ponzi, pyramid scheme. That's what I mean.
Same deal.
The pyramid scheme that is college football.
You're fucking people over below you.
Yes. Bowling Green, the Falcons come to town at Davis Wade Stadium, Patty C. I'm on Hail State.
I'm on Hail State too.
3-1 in the month of September.
Yep.
Then they get.
This is a juicy one.
A home game against the Aggies of Texas A&M. Hail fucking State, buddy.
What's interesting about this is 2 very challenging games that if even one of them was on the road, I'd be tempted to at least give them one loss here. I don't know that I want to give them one loss. I think maybe between going to LSU and hosting A&M and hosting Arkansas, I think they get 2 out of 3 there. I don't know. I'll play devil's advocate.
I got them beating A&M and Arkansas. The one loss being
LSU at this point in the season.
So after A&M, they're home to Arkansas. I got them at 5-1 to start the season.
They might be, but I'll say this. Okay, the road trip to Kentucky. By then, I'll have them taking a second.
I agree.
Right.
I have them losing at Kentucky. Well, that's still a 50-50 game to me. I do think Kentucky's completely overrated. But I think they can. That's a winnable game. But you know what? I'm going to say realistically here,
there are some tough games already that they're facing here.
So at that point, I would have them at 5-2. They're at Bama on the back-to-back 5-3.
5-3.
All right,
easy money.
They get a bye week. They're home to Georgia, which is great.
Wait, no, home to Auburn.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, home to Auburn, which is great because Brian Harsin is probably going to be fired by then.
Very, very possible.
So a lot of these times when you see the coach go, the team kind of quits. Give me Hail State to make it 2 in a row against Auburn.
Last year they beat them by 9. I feel like it was pretty convincing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll stick with Auburn this time in Starkville.
So that puts us at what?
Mississippi State, rather.
That puts us at what? 6?
6-3.
Yeah. Okay. The number. We just need one more win. They're home to the Georgia Bulldogs. Patty C.
That's an L.
It's an L, but this one, I mean,
here it is, baby.
Remember that Crabtree game against Texas where no one said Texas Tech could win that game, and they got it done.
The next step,
right? This place will be lit. I'm still going Georgia. All right.
Let me ask you this: I haven't gone back and watched a ton of film on them yet, but this Lideatrick Griffin, is it what Lideatrick Griffin?
Lideatrick, right?
Lideatrick.
I don't know.
26 catches, 269 yards, 10.3 yards per catch, but in the return game, 30.6 yards per return and a touchdown. He on only 15 returns. So explosive. Could he be that guy as a receiver? Could he be the Michael Crabtree that takes a step forward? His catch stats don't suggest that he's going to make that jump yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see this year, but I got them losing to the Bulldogs.
I feel like Crabtree had 150 catches his junior and senior
I think one
year.
of those years he definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah. Bulldogs get the win there.
So we just need one more win, and the East Tennessee State Buccaneers come to town. Watch out, Buccaneers made the FCS playoffs a year ago, but I got Mississippi State winning this one.
Oh yeah.
So that puts me at 7.
Smash
7-4.
Yeah.
And if you listen to our Ole Miss podcast. Here we go. Hail State upset in the Egg Bowl.
Did I take the upset in this one or in that one, or did I go Ole Miss in that one?
I don't remember what you did, buddy, but I know that this is the year. Ole Miss is down a little bit. Leach has this team headed up.
They need to get
It's
him.
a perfect spot. It's at Vaught Hemingway. Thanksgiving. I cannot wait for this game. Give me
Either way,
8-4.
we're going over here, and of course, we're hoping Leach gets this one done. Not only for the rivalry, but because we love Leach.
Yeah.
That said, we got some love for Kiffin too.
Yeah, 8-4 season. And look, honestly,
Leach is our guy.
I can't wait. Please pull the upset against Georgia.
Oh, that'd
Please,
be amazing.
Please
Give me something. I've been waiting for it
Please.
against Bama, but the defending champ just as good, especially if Georgia is undefeated. What does Georgia have coming into that game? 2 straight games against Florida and Tennessee. Maybe they're a little worn out mentally.
Yeah.
Overlooking the old Bulldogs in Starkville.
And Kentucky could be a look ahead spot if they're as good as what they say. I don't think it will be, but hey, people are talking. There's a lot of chatter about Will Levis and the Wildcats.
That's clearly the meat of Georgia's schedule right there, and Mississippi State right in the middle of it. So maybe they have a chance to take advantage of that. Let's hope.
The over. Take it right now, folks. Get in on that action. All right. I'm on the over. He's on the over. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. Hopefully you're subscribed on YouTube because we did get our television screen working, or a screen working, whatever the hell you want to call this thing. All right. We got it working. All right. We got it working. And yeah, subscribe, give us a 5-star review on iTunes, people. If you do that, take a screenshot, find us on Twitter at TCE on SGPN, show us that screenshot, and we'll send you a College Football Experience t-shirt. Also, remember, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Ben Hallen, his days in Starkville are done. Chris Jans comes to town from Las Cruces, New Mexico, where New Mexico State had a great little run, upset UConn in the tournament. So Chris Jans coming in. You know, we're talking. We got an episode dropping later this week, talking Mississippi State basketball with Chris Jans in that edition and what we think in the future. We're going to break it down. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Also, remember, subscribe to the College Baseball Experience. Me and Noah Beanick talk college baseball. So
chopping it up.
Hail State had a tough year this year, but last year they won it all. I expect them to bounce back next year. You know, we got you covered on the College Football Experience and the College Basketball Experience and the College Baseball Experience. Subscribe to all of them. Subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. We just had Pat McAfee on. We had Mike Leach on. I don't know. We have Bill Burr on all the time. Come, just check it out. It's a lot of fun.
All the great ones.
Yeah, all the great ones. What else do we got going? Me and Patty C and NC Nick. We also host the USFL Gambling Podcast. We just went through that season. Subscribe to that.
Hello.
MLB Gambling Podcast happening. That's a fantastic podcast on our platform. Check it out.
Who do you think they're going for in the USFL? Would they be Birmingham Stallions fans?
Probably.
I think that's close enough.
Or do they go New Orleans Breakers? I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Subscribe to all those things. MLB Gambling Podcast, Golf Gambling Podcast. I can go on and on and on. NBA Gambling Podcast, Soccer Gambling Podcast. Got the World Cup coming. If that's your cup of tea. All right, folks. I'm on the over. He's on the over. Check out the Discord. Talk Hail State with us all year in the Sports Gambling Podcast Discord channel. Come on now. Let's do this.
Let's go.
This is the College Football Experience, Mississippi State style. You better start thinking about yours.
I think tide turning. See, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy.
And you come into the best college football team in the land.
It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name. You can't go all the way to your house and all you got to do is white beer.
It's Division I football.
Well, I know that. I got a damn rain man comb, but
Coaching, our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job.
nothing is over.